bottles. Why not vodka? Because you can't sense the smell.
Just plain old, plain old.
You like olives or lemon?
I am listening. Just black music of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a song.
Oh, she's got a beautiful voice.
God is singing. I will listen all day long. I will listen all day long. Oh yeah, hey, oh yeah, oh yeah, hey, oh yeah, hey,
That's Michael Edwards' wife, right?
oh yeah, hey,
That's Michael Edwards' wife.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, whether you're here in person or visiting us virtually now or any tomorrow. So we are still in the month of July. We can really notice it here in the Northeast with our temperature. And we are exploring this idea of deepening relationships. Relationship is really all there is, right? Whether it's to self, to other, to spirit. And so today the topic is zoom on out, which is inviting us to notice that's where we struggle and where we suffer. We're just asked to see a bigger picture and to be inspired by that bigger picture. So we're blessed because Lori Carlson is with us today doing a spiritual practice, newly licensed, soon to have her installation, which will happen on September 18th. And you're all invited for that. And we want you to take a look online, whether you're here or you are virtual, because we have some really great things coming up. We have our Healing Circle is back, which is only in person every first Friday, so that's August 5th at 7 o'clock. Srinath, who was here doing the music a while ago, is doing a concert, and that's going to happen on August 20th, which is a Saturday from 4 to 5:30. We have flyers over there. And I am teaching a class this week, but I will need to know today for those of you who are interested, so be sure to register on the Breeze link, and then tomorrow we'll make a decision whether we go forward with it or not, or postpone it. We also have our beautiful Cat Roman doing a sound bath experience, and that is going to be on August 28th from 12:45 to 2 p.m., and it's only going to be right here in person as well. So, we are going to have Lori do an opening practice and an opening treatment, but first let's do our Namaste practice. So Namaste is a Sanskrit word for the divinity in me blesses the divinity in you. So really be with that idea that you're blessing a part of someone that is invisible. It's their spirit. And yet we know it's visible by means of their beingness, right? So put your hands together and just bow to somebody and say Namaste. 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 All right. So now we have Lori blessing us with a treatment and a practice that will weave into something more practical later.
Good morning, community.
Good morning.
So I invite you to close your eyes and to go within to that place where there is only spirit, and to hear these words as if they were your own. So I know that there is one power, one presence, one divine creative intelligence, one spirit, one source of all that is, the Alpha and the Omega, that which beats my heart and breathes my breath, that created everything from the smallest grain of sand to the farthest reaches of the cosmos. I know that this power, this presence, this spirit which I choose to call God exists in me, as me, through me, that I am here to remember that and to demonstrate that in all I think, do, and say. And as I know this is true for me, I know this is true for each one. We are each just unique sparks of this one divine light. We are here to shine that light and to be that beacon. And so right here, right now, I know that everything that needs to be heard is heard in this service. That this time together allows us to expand our consciousness into a greater expression of ourselves as spirit that we are. That each one leaves with a larger perspective and a cosmic view of their place in the cosmos and of their oneness with spirit. And so with gratitude for knowing this truth, with gratitude for this beautiful community and being able to speak this word today, I release this word into that ever-present and loving law that can only say yes, knowing that as I think it, speak it, and do truly believe that so it must be. And I invite you to join me in saying, and so it is. And so, from this beautiful place of oneness with each other, I invite you to keep your eyes closed, or if it's more comfortable to you, you can just lower your gaze and soften. And I'm going to lead you in a short meditative practice about zooming out, something that Reverend Frankie will be talking more about in her talk. But we're just going to do a meditative practice to really come into the space. So, I invite you to take a deep breath and just become totally centered in your body. scan through from head to toe, feeling any areas of tightness or clenching, and just breathe into that space, allowing your body to settle into stillness and becoming totally present in this moment. Breathe in and breathe out. And now I invite you to bring your awareness to whatever it is you carried in with you that may be weighing on your heart, your soul, or on your physical body. Any judgments, any concerns, any aches and pains, frustrations, whatever it may be. I invite you to gently visualize yourself separating them from your form and laying them at your feet. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel yourself lighter for having put down those things that weigh you down. See yourself filling with light with each breath, and feel your spirit and heart and mind lightening with each exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Now, I invite you to step outside of your body. See yourself sitting in the chair. See what you're wearing, and see the pile that you've left at your feet. See it as separate from you. Breathing in light, breathing out, feeling lighter. Now we're going to zoom out a little more. We're going to see everyone else in the room. Visualize what they're wearing and see the piles at their feet. Different from yours, but piles all the same. And see them filling with light with each breath. Breathing in light and breathing out, feeling lighter. And now I invite you to continue to zoom out so that we now see the entire room, the building, the town, and each being as a speck of light, that divine light. Breathing in and breathing out. And then we bring our perspective farther back. And we see the state, the country, the planet, full of little specks of light. Every being breathing light. Can you even see your pile from this perspective? Breathing in and breathing out. And still we go farther out. And we see a planet as a speck in the solar system, and the solar system as a speck of light in the galaxy, and the galaxy as a speck of light in the universe. The entire universe, full of specks of light. Breathing in and breathing out. Can you even see that pile at your feet from this cosmic divine perspective? Just breathe in what that feels like. I heard an astrobiologist in a podcast yesterday named Caleb Sharp say, on a finite world, a cosmic perspective is not a luxury, it's actually a necessity. He was talking about the care of the planet and our oneness with each other. But it's also a way to remember the truth of who and what we are, spiritual beings, and that all of the things that our ego and the conditions of our life that weigh us down are insignificant when seen from this cosmic perspective. Breathe that in and breathe that out. And now I invite you to bring your awareness gently back through the universe, to the galaxy, to the solar system, to the planet, back to this country, back to this state, back to this town. See this building and everyone around you as divine beings of light, coming back into this very room, and see those around you lighter, full of light. See the piles at their feet. Do they look a little different to you now? Do they feel a little lighter, a little less important, less weighty? And as you come back into your body, does it feel different? Can you feel lighter from that divine perspective of the awe and miracle that is your life? The very presence of life in this cosmic universe, so full of awe and wonder. And so as you pick up the pile, or if you choose not to, I hope that it is lighter for you now, or that you choose to leave some of it on the floor, kick it to the curb, and just go back out into your day, knowing that you always have this ability to step back from whatever may seek to diminish you, to step back from whatever tries to weigh you down. Breathe that in and breathe that out. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes and return to the room.
These times are troubling me. So much I can hardly see. Through the walls, keeping us apart. You got your views and I got mine, but we're together in this moment in time. Hope you can
was Karen Drucker. And I loved your meditation. That was beautiful, Laurie. So we do a treatment express after celebration, and that's when the practitioner is available to do quickies. Quickie treatments, I mean. So she's going to be available standing over there, and you just ask and she treats. And if you want or need more, I am pretty sure that most of you know that you can reach out to any licensed practitioner for a session. So I want to start with a poem by Chilan Harkin. The worst thing we ever did, the worst thing we ever did was put God in the sky, out of reach, pulling the divinity from the leaf, sifting out the holy from our bones, insisting God isn't bursting dazzlement through everything we've made a hard commitment to see as ordinary, stripping the sacred from everywhere to put in a cloud man elsewhere, prying closeness from our own heart. The worst thing we ever did was take the dance and the song out of prayer, made it sit up straight and cross its legs, removed it of rejoicing, wiped clean its hip sway, its questions, its ecstatic yowl, its tears. The worst thing we ever did was pretend God isn't the easiest thing in this universe, available to every soul in every breath. So, in my humble opinion, what we are witnessing happening in the world, as we know it in Science of Mind teaching, is a sense of separation from God. So we're not talking about a God in the sky with a long beard and a staff. We're talking about the divine nature of each and every one and everything on this planet. The presence and the power of divine love everywhere present. That sense of separation has caused us to forget that life is sacred, whether it's conscious or not. And this forgetfulness that life is sacred is really the cause of all challenges, all struggles, all suffering. Those of us who are on a spiritual path then have a bigger responsibility. We don't get to think of spirituality as entertainment anymore. We don't get to think of it as only on Sundays or when I'm meditating or taking a class. We are the ones that are called to practice remembering that all of life is sacred. Without shame, right? Without guilting anyone, without othering, but just keep bringing it back to this idea that all of life is sacred. And so what happens is that when we're struggling and when we're suffering, there is something inside of us that says, you're too narrow. You're seeing only what's at your feet. You are too identified with your sense of separation. You are too focused and obsessed with what's wrong, what isn't working, and what are our personal problems. So in a way, all that is a blessing. All those things are messengers for us to see more clearly, and we see more clearly when we zoom out. And so I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they used a word that finally defined how I have been feeling. And the word was foreboding. Anybody else been feeling that? This sense of foreboding? What's happening in the world? What is this feeling? I can't put my finger on it. And so it was kind of a blessing, not because of the foreboding I felt, but noticing what that feeling was, giving it a name, because once we name something, we can do something with it. It's not just hanging over there and we're just trying to get through the day. Because the trying to get through the day, the thinking too small and too narrow, is really a protection mechanism. It's that fear of, if I let go of control, or if I go outside this circle or outside my little pile, I don't feel safe. I'm not protected anymore. And so it's a different way of seeing the world, right? And that's what's called for, it is to see life with a shift. To go from micro to macro, to go from zooming in to zooming out, to going from my little pile of worry to, wait, the world is bigger than this, and something greater wants to be lived. And how can I hang out there until it is revealed to me? Requires that we're silent, requires that we're not distracted, which may be the hardest thing for people to do right now. My meditation teacher has been calling it for 10 years, weapons of mass distractions. They're worse. And the things that distract you, like with your smartphones, remember that every time you're distracted, somebody makes money off of you. Right? So it's like to really see all that in perspective, not make it wrong, just noticing what it is and allow it to have you make choices that are more expansive, that are zoomed out. So it's also then from ego to eco, that's just one word, right? The ecology just means the environment that we're in. It's the energy, the life force of all things. And then expand that to omni. As we say in our teaching, spirit is omnipresent, omniscient, omni-loving, omnipotent. And so the practice that Laurie did, we can do all the time, right? We can be zoomed in without shame, guilt, criticism, worry, and just notice what is before us that is getting our attention in a way that causes us suffering. So that might be a health issue, or it might be a financial issue, or it might be a career issue, or a relationship issue. So just for a moment, quietly think what is before you at the moment, without saying it out loud, that is distracting you, or that makes you focus on the pile at your feet, or that makes you anxious, or worried, or fearful, or stressed out. And then really think about stepping back from it and seeing it in a new way, in a more expansive way. In the theme of in July, it's about deepening relationships. So if it involves a relationship, it just means that we are called to be more loving, to be more kind, to be more forgiving, to be more patient. If it's about finances, then maybe it means we have to be more proactive. Or maybe it means that we have to trust that our source of abundance is not in the micro. It's not in the paycheck, right? Or a disability check, or whatever it is. That it's in a bigger place of trusting that we are always provided for by Spirit itself. And if it is about health, I really now embrace, with a big health scare last year, really embrace how I'm experiencing my body. Because the body speaks to us. Have you noticed? When you're tired, you rest. When you have a headache, close your eyes and breathe and quiet your mind. When you have diabetes, look at what sweetness is missing, right? When you have high blood pressure, what is stressing us? The body is telling us, is inviting us to kind of step back and not so quickly fix the symptom, but to think about, what is my body telling me? And so that's relationships, finance, health, self-expression. A lot of self-expression has to do where we tend to monitor. Am I good enough? Am I saying it the right way? Am I kind enough? Blah, 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 right? Instead of saying, this is who I am. I'm a unique individualized expression of the one, and I get to express myself who I am and as I am today, knowing it is ever expanding and growing, knowing that there's always room for change or healing, but that's not what it's about. It's about expressing our true nature and noticing what's in the way so that it can be dissolved. Carl Sagan, the famous Carl Sagan, and this was in the blurb that we sent out this week, says, the cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know itself. We are a way for the universe, for spirit, for God to know itself. How magical is that? You're not just a bag of bones struggling through life. You are a way for spirit to know itself. And then we have one of the people that I admire so much, Neil deGrasse Tyson, who said these two things. We're all connected to each other. That's a powerful statement when we think about the theme of deepening relationships, right? We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically. Wow. I'm going to read that one again. Think about that, right? We're all connected to each other biologically. We are all brothers and sisters. To the earth chemically. There's a chemical exchange. When I stand under a tree, I'm very aware that I'm breathing out carbon dioxide, and the tree is breathing out oxygen, and we're doing an exchange. Very simplified, right? But it's powerful. And to the rest of the universe, atomically. Wow. I'm no scientist, but that does inspire me. He also says that we are part of this universe. We are in this universe. But perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. The universe is in us. So I don't know if any of you heard in the news that there was a very, very big thing that happened about 2 or 3 weeks ago that was blowing up the world of astronomy. The James Webb Space Telescope picked up something that was never picked up before because it has infrared eyes. Because of the infrared aspects, they were able to see, or the telescope was able to see things it had never witnessed before, we've never seen before, ever. And so what was revealed was some of the oldest, and I've read, coldest moments of the universal existence. They call them baby pictures of the universe. It made me laugh. Baby pictures of the universe. And mysteries were revealed. Keys were unlocked to the first story of the universe, the first pages of the cosmic history of the galaxy. Galaxy's formation are written. Do you feel that? Can you feel that? Can you feel what that signifies, what that means? What's the thought that comes to mind?
Potential.
Potential. Wow. Awesome. Insane. Woohoo. Anything else?
Excitement.
Excitement. That's your true identity. That feeling of wow when we witness something like that discovered. And so what do we do with all that? Zooming in, zooming out, blah, 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 right? It just invites us to find something that inspires you. I know some of you are inspired by music, nature, science, love, family, friends,
Poetry.
our planet. Make sure that you find time every day to sit in that inspiration without distraction. Just like about anybody else, I can watch a movie and read a book at the same time, although that's not really true because I cannot. Or iron and listen to music, or watch TV and knit. But I'm talking about really being in that which inspires you. I'm pretty sure that everybody here has experience where you hear a song and you either dance or weep or play it over and over and over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's important because that nourishes us. That allows us to zoom out. That connects us in a way that reminds us that life is sacred. And then we make sure that we do our spiritual practices, that we rest well, that we practice good self-care, because that's where our service then comes from. That's where we make a difference in the world. That's how we can show up with our unique gifts and talents and our knowing of what this teaching, Science of Mind, or what spirituality is about. It's putting it into action. And so, to me, that is about visioning. And every day, sometimes a couple times a day, I will close my eyes and I'll ask, what is mine to do, Spirit? What is mine to say? What is mine to give? What is mine to serve? And it can be as tiny as making a point to say hello to somebody, or to compliment them, or to give them something, or to smile at them, right? Just these little things that are really so big. Visioning is about remembering who we really are, what we really are, whose we really are, and then listening for what is ours to be, to do, and to give. And that's available to us anytime, because that's that connection with the sacred that is already within us, that is already us. So, before we do a treatment, I want to just invite you for a moment to think about what this community means to you. And what it would mean to you if it was still around. Bless you when we aren't. I can see that. I can see a community where people who are in need of community and a spiritual teaching get to come together. Families, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now. And it asks of us to support this community, whether it's through service, volunteering, or our financial support. And there are ways to do that. You could just set it up so it's automatic, which is what I like to do, or you can give today, the basket is over there, or you can give on our website. But I want you to think about giving in a different way. It's not giving because I ask, we ask. It's not giving because we need it. It's not giving because you think it's an obligation. It's giving because you like this idea of circulation and you want to support the center so that it can be here in the future. So just think about that for a moment, or think about that during the week, and I invite you then to support this community from that place. So let's close with a healing treatment, shall we? So I invite you to close your eyes, and if you're comfortable, place your hand on your heart. That sacred center that listens and speaks. That sacred center that reveals our deepest treasures, our deepest wisdom, and our deepest purpose. The place where we remember that we are spirit incarnate. Our spirit had a need for us, for each of us, to bring us a unique gift. So we allow whatever is still at our feet that seems to limit us. We allow whatever contracts us or makes us struggle and suffer. We allow it to reveal a greater idea. We allow it to be dissolved and become grist for the mill. We allow it to heal so that we can stand in the world whole. WHOLE. And so today we trust more deeply that whatever is in the way is dissolved, that we are made free, and that we are of service as a being of light. That beautiful being of light, that beautiful light that Laurie brought to us in her meditation. Letting it shine more brightly than ever. And so it is.
And so it